Hey, yesterday when me and my family went to church, one of the pastors preached yesterday, and they was talking about prayer, right? And then they got into, not necessarily just communication with God, not necessarily just talking with God, but having your heart postured and centered toward God as you pray. Means so much more, which boils down to the relationship, but the intimacy that you have with God. Like not going to Him just asking for stuff, but going to God just wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of different points that she was making that really stuck out to me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that would be helpful for me, you, and everybody. But I want to talk about first about how you can allow certain things to be before God and it show in your prayer life. You could become so distant from God because of whatever you're doing. Like, for example, I'm going to give you an example of something that I know that I have struggled with. You know, going through maybe depression or stress, if you will, and then maybe being watching movies or, you know what I'm saying, trying to find comfort. Maybe it be food, you know what I'm saying. In the past, I know it was substance, you know, and that's a very big problem because, for one, you're not facing whatever it is that you're going through, and then you're not even allowing God to go through it with you, you know. And in the beginning, it was just so hard for me, you know what I'm saying? And different events that happened in my life over the years, it been hard because I ain't never felt like I had nobody, you know what I'm saying, with me or had my back or, supported me. You know what I'm saying? And understand, I'm not saying God like our earthly parents or family or nothing like that, but see, when you been conditioned in that form, to believe that that's all you have, because that's how I felt, and they wasn't there for me, you tend to treat God that same way. You know what I'm saying? I know I did. And for those of you that have experienced that or experiencing that, understand that, prayer is the access to God. You get what I'm saying? And just because it ain't happened right now, don't mean that it's not gonna happen. You keep on praying, and then you must have faith, and you must believe that He is God. Not hoping and or wishing on eggshells and stuff like that. No, just trust in God, you know. Just trust that He gonna do what He say He gonna do. Yeah, you might have prayed 10 times last week. Pray 20 times this week. You know what I'm saying? Until it happens. It ain't that He can't do it. It's just that He wanna know if you're gonna be faithful through the process. Because it all falls and it all boils down to it's gonna happen on His time. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen on His time. It don't matter, because He knows best for our life. But like I was saying, you know, just keep it in good standing, and you know, stand close to God in your rough times, man. You know, you can allow how you feel, what you want to take you away from God. Let me explain what I mean. You know, you can have a desire so big, and a lot of our human desire on this earth right now is money, that you would do anything for it. You know what I'm saying? That you would do anything for it. And what I mean is anything. Is that a God? No. But are you allowing your desire of what you want to overtake you? If you would do anything for it, yes. Instead of just trusting in the Lord, like sometimes, and she said, I spoke on this in another video, but she said it yesterday. Sometimes no is a yes. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know what God holding you from. Or maybe you do, because at the end of the day, He truly know you. You might want to be a singer, a famous singer, but that may not be in His will for your life. You may want to be a rapper, or you may want to be an entertainer, or you may want to get that corporate job. You may want to, pivot into this, but that may not be for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it may not be in the will of God. It's not that God ain't gonna bless you. It's not that God ain't gonna bring you to the highest. It's not that God ain't got nothing great for you. But what you seeking may not be in his will. The problem with that is, first of all, asking him but not accepting it. You ask him but you're not accepting what's before you. You're not accepting his answer. That's a problem because see, you ask him, and if you don't accept it, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna make a mistake that if you had listened, you'll just, even though it don't feel good, even though you angry about it, even though you just like, man, this can't be, listen to me. Listen to God. But first you must pray, communicate with God, talk to God, be more intimate with God, build your relationship with God, not to get stuff, but just because of who he is enough alone. You know what I'm saying? That is enough alone. Because without him, who are we? Who are we? If you think about it, how did you get this far? Where were you when he created the heavens and earth? Where were you? You know, and I ain't just talking, I'm talking to me too. Like, sometimes it be like that. You know, right now, I'm making a pivot into a different career. I spoke on this before, but guess what happened? Life happened to me. You get what I'm saying? And as bad as I wanted to pivot into the role I was getting into, when the situation happened with my daughter twice, I say, well, this gonna keep me away from them. That's a lot on my wife. I don't think that that's gonna be the best situation for us in this season, and probably ever, because that's a lot. So it's okay. Yeah, I was a little disappointed, but hey, I ain't tripping. You know, this is my family, and I appreciate, because I prayed. I'm like, okay, it's it. I've been trying to push this door here and there, off and on, and it always be something. I'm done trying. I'm done with that. You get what I'm saying? Because I know though, because I've been praying. I know that it ain't for me. Was I irritated? Yes. Was I mad? A little bit. Was I, a little discouraged? Yeah, because I had my mindset on something. I knew, and this how you know that it's you, and you trying to figure it out. Because I had in my mind, my plan, how long it was going to take, what I was going to do. I was literally finna leave, how much money I was going to make so I could be able to do this, do that, and you know what I'm saying? I could say this so I could do that. See, I had my mind, I already set on some guy. I said, nah, that's cool. But then, nah, that ain't the will I got for you. So you could try, you keep on forcing it, but that's not what I ordained for your life, and I had to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So God knows best. God knows best, man. But pray, pray, pray. Don't never stop praying. Never stop praying. And lastly, when she talked about daily bread, and what I mean by daily bread, she hit it on the money with this here. God give us daily bread every day, but yet we try to hold on to it. That may not make sense to some, but the ones that understand. And I'm gonna try to explain the best way I can. You know how, God give us daily bread, but we be so worried that we ain't gonna get no more, that we try to hold on to today's bread. You trying to hold, so you gonna keep holding on. The bread gonna spoil. The bread gonna spoil, so you got to trust that God gonna provide you daily bread every day. And I'm not just talking about food or money. I'm just talking about all your needs. He's gonna provide every day, but you gotta trust him. We show him we don't trust him by holding on to stuff. By holding on to stuff, we need to draw back from stuff and run closer to him, cling closer to him. But holding on to stuff will have you grip tight on stress, anxiety, all that different type of stuff. But when you live your life with an open hand, trusting in God, and knowing that despite how you feel, everything gonna be okay, it's all gonna work out for you. It's all gonna work out for you. And as I say that, it's not like it's just gonna snap a finger like a magic trick, but it's got a appointed time that God has set for you. So don't give up, man. Keep on praying and keep on trusting in the Lord. I promise you, it's all gonna work out for you, but you got to do your part. And stop holding on to stuff. Just let it go and let God. Okay? Keep on going, man. Let's go.